Hi guys, today I'm going to be interviewing Katie Quinn from the YouTube channel QKatie, and I've been terrible about uploading this video because I actually filmed it before she went to Paris, and then since then she's gone to Paris, she's gotten her culinary school degree, and she's back in her home in New York. And I love Katie's channel because she has an amazing personality and she makes really simple and easy recipes that look incredible, and I'm excited to interview her, so let's get into it. Okay, so my first question to you is, where does your love for cooking come from?
Oh, that's a great question. My love for cooking usually comes from other people. So, going to a new country, let's say, and there's they have totally different dishes than we have here, than I have in Brooklyn, or I grew up in Ohio in a really small town. So I think I first got the taste for the taste for how fun food could be when I moved from my small little town in Ohio to New York. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's just so much here. But then, in the past decade though, going from New York, traveling around the world to other countries, and really seeing how food is a reflection of a culture, I think that's really what drives my love for food. Because yes, I love food because it's delicious, obviously, but it goes a lot deeper than that. I think that food is the best window into a culture or even a person. If you sit down across the table from someone and have a meal with them, you'll get to know them better than really any other way you could.
So I saw that you went to Bermuda as well and you got to meet a lot of cool people. And so what was that like as an experience?
I mean, it was way cool. It was a whirlwind. It was because I was only there for 3 days, and so every day I was there it was just jam packed. It was just jam packed. But it was so fun. I mean, I tend to think that a trip is a good trip if I've left and experienced something totally new. So, related to food, if it's a dish I've never tried or an ingredient I had never heard of before, or if it's recently I went to Honduras and went scuba diving for the first time. So it was cool. That's a totally new experience.
But generally you are a food journalist, so how did you get into that line of work?
So I got into food from journalism. So after I graduated from college, I moved to New York. I get in the NBC Page program. Have you ever seen the TV show 30 Rock?
Yeah.
Say, okay. Do you know the character Kenneth?
No, no. But
Okay.
I'm sure.
So that character is a page at NBC, and that's not just some fictional role within the television network NBC. It's an actual role that young people who want to be in the industry have. So I was Kenneth, basically. I was a page at NBC, so I'd run around backstage at the different shows and really got to dip my toe in a lot of the things that this industry has to offer. And then started going down the video journalism path. Got really good at shooting and editing and interviewing and producing and stuff like that. And then food was just kind of a side hobby for me. On the side, I would write for this food blog called Serious Eats, and I would lead these big group trips to a random restaurant far away from the main part of the city with my friends, and it just became a big hobby for me that I equated New York with these cool food opportunities. And then it didn't take that long. I mean, I guess over the period of a year or so, the two things just merged. So very naturally. So the video work I was doing, then I would be interested in a food story, and I would pitch to my bosses, hey, maybe I could shoot an interview with this chef, or maybe I could do a profile on this new restaurant that just opened. And luckily, my bosses were open-minded enough to be like, yeah, sure, that sounds like a good story. Go ahead and do it. And then I just kind of continued that. And so every job I had, any project I got to work on, I always kind of squeezed food into it. So yeah, and now I would say I'm like equal parts journalist and food enthusiast, I guess.
So then why did you decide to start your YouTube channel?
I decided to start my YouTube channel because shortly before I started it, I went freelance. So I left the company I was at, I decided to go freelance, and I was getting gigs, I was getting some projects, that was cool, but it was, it was just starting anything is always a little quiet. And I'm not very good at just like, oh, well, then I get to sleep in today. Like, I'm like, no, like, what can I do to fill this time? So that's why I started the YouTube channel, because it kind of made sense. It's like, well, YouTube's a fun place to be. There's like a lot of cool food video stuff going on there. And then I was like, it just seemed like a natural thing for me to do because I shoot videos, I edit videos, I host videos. And so I have the ability to be self-contained. So I was like, oh, I think I want to start a YouTube channel. I can just do it with basically just like throwing together all of my skills. I can put it up. And so when I had the idea to do it, like no one else had to tell me, okay, yeah, go do it. It's just like, I think I want to do that. Okay, I'm going to do that. And then I just like totally dived in. And then like there was no turning back, right? Because it was immediately so much fun. I loved it because as opposed to a lot of like the journalistic pieces I do, that are sometimes, well, they're fun, most of them, but some of them, I don't know, it's just like have to put on the journalism hat. And with the food, with the YouTube channel, I could be as goofy as I wanted to be. I don't have to be super professional or like, I can just be like, whoa, I had this awesome thing. Let me share it with you guys. So it was a nice outlet for that passion for food. And so then I was just quickly hooked and it became actually like a main part of my freelance career because now at this point, so whatever, like more than half a year later, a lot of brands and companies see my YouTube channel and then hire me for projects like journalism projects or video projects from my YouTube channel, and they would never have seen me otherwise. So
Right.
So they go hand in hand in a really cool way.
So what are the best parts of YouTubing for you?
The best parts of YouTubing, I love hearing from people. And so like when you have commented on my stuff, like I love it. It really makes me so happy. I love hearing from people in entirely different situations than I am, right? So like across the world, or they're a mom, or they're in college, or anything. Like I just love hearing from people who watch the videos and enjoy the videos. I think I get a lot from that. And then I think like the other part is just, it's like a really empowering feeling that like I can have an idea and then go to action, like execute it and put it online. And so it's a wonderful feeling of like, look at that thing that I created from beginning to end. Mm-hmm. So that's, I guess, kind of the more selfish reason for it, but like it's a really empowering feeling.
What are your favorite utensils to use?
Ooh, that's fun. Favorite utensils. I mean, I love a good knife. And I think like I have a favorite knife. It's so sharp. Like I love how the handle fits my hand. And it's just like, I think it's really sexy. Like, I don't know if that's weird to like describe a knife as, but it's like, I don't know. I really like holding it, and I like, being able to cut through a ripe tomato, and it just like cuts right through the skin. You know what I mean? Like, so there's not like, so the tomato doesn't like burst all over the place because it's just like, psh. So I get a lot of pleasure out of, I think, using that. A really fun appliance that I recently got that I've gotten into is a Vitamix blender. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I mean, I it's a blender.
I guess.
Exactly, but it's like a super high powered, like, I forget how much the horsepower is, but it's like a ton of horsepower. So it's just like really powerful. It's cool because you can watch, like, put something in it and just watch it be obliterated. So I've been having fun kind of experimenting with what I can do with that.
That's cool. And if you were stranded on a deserted island and you could only eat one type of food, what would it be?
I think it would be mangoes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
totally. I'm Indian, so it's kind of like in my blood.
Yes, amazing. Yeah.
And so, have you done anything with mangoes on your channel yet?
I did do one mango thing. It wasn't recipe oriented. It was more of a hack.
Okay, like how to cut mangoes, I think, was it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like when you use a glass and like to like peel out the mango. And actually the Today Show, are you familiar with the Today Show?
Yeah.
Okay, so they, after I published that video, they had me on to show the mango hack, which was pretty
really
cool.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks.
So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. You're probably the most enthusiastic person I've interviewed, so.
And I haven't even had my coffee yet today.